Alright. I got you guys on my head tonight. You got the head POV. What's up, PW? Welcome. Sorry it's not that bright in here right now, but that is the Bluettie system. Look how big that box is compared to the seat. I'm just gonna say for the record, I actually hope it's not that big, and I hope that it's like triple boxed for safety, and it's actually a lot smaller, because I don't really need it to be that big. That's a little too big, right? That's like a refrigerator. Did they send me the refrigerator? Did I accidentally order the refrigerator and that's what that is? Because I was also looking at the refrigerator. Hello everybody. So before I open this, I just want us all to sit here and appreciate what this van looks like right now. I'm sitting in between the desk and the kitchen counter. Everything's starting to come together. There's a bed over here. You know, so much accomplished in a couple of months' time with very little money. I mean, it's just incredible to almost be at the end of the line here, and for everything that I have to order for this van build and that I have ordered, this battery system is hands down probably the most important component in being able to live full-time in the back of your van and have the comfort and luxuries of stuff that you would have at your house. Now, with that being said, tonight's plan is, this isn't going to be a long stream. This is going to be a reasonably timed stream. We're going to unpack it. We're going to talk about it a little bit, check out some of the features. So this phone that I have right here is like an old Android that I've had forever. I've used it in my past YouTube channel, and basically this is going to end up becoming the tablet hooked up through Wi-Fi for the van. And this phone right here is going to power everything in the van. It's going to be hooked up to the Bluettie battery, so I'll be able to control it from the phone and see the battery percentage. Also, I'll be able to use this for the refrigerator, the lights in here, and some other things. The Starlink, everything will be powered from this phone right here. So I'm going to use this phone tonight to hook up my Bluettie system, because my main phone I'm live streaming from right now. I can't do anything on it. So, but the plan is we're going to take it out, talk about it a little bit, check it out. It is not going to be at 100% battery, unfortunately. They don't send them like that. It'll probably be somewhere around 50%. So here's the plan. When I'm done with the stream, I'm going to quickly plug this battery into charge right into my shore power port. I don't even have to take it into the house to charge it. I can just leave it in the van, plug it into the power outlet back there, because I'm hooked up through shore power into the van from the house. We'll let it charge. It only takes 1 hour to charge it from 0% to 100%. So if it's around 50 or 40%, it should only take it half that time to hit 100%. I'll do a high-speed charge on it for the first run. When it is charged, I will come out here, I will set up my gaming console, my computer monitor, my PlayStation 5 Pro, a couple of lights, and I will hook all of that up to the 100% charged Bluettie power system and do a live game stream from the van tonight off of my battery system that I just got. So that is the plan for tonight. So it could be like 30 minutes to an hour before I would go live again. But I want to test it out. You know, this is a typical night. I just got done with work. I got home, took care of my dog, you know, put things away, changed, and I would typically kick back and play an hour or 2 hours of MLB The Show or whatever game I feel like, and then go to bed. So I want to see if this Bluettie system can handle my PlayStation 5 Pro and my computer monitor and a couple of lights, or maybe I'll do the Christmas lights in here. Just basic stuff, and see what the battery percentage is when I'm done. So let's go ahead and unbox it. I think back here I have an X-Acto knife in this box. By the way, I got you guys tonight POV. You guys are on my head. I'm using my phone mount headband from the TikTok shop. Last night we were using the chest mount from the TikTok shop, but tonight we're using the head mount. It feels kind of weird to have an iPhone on my forehead right now, but you know, I'm also hunched over in this van, so what else is weird, right? So let's go ahead and cut this baby open. I didn't want to use the chest mount because I felt like you guys would just my arms would be in the way of trying to open this. So very carefully open this up. All right, so it does say this side up. Let me do something real quick. Let me turn on the overhead lights. There we go, that's a lot better. I can only leave those on for a short amount of time, but long enough to get this out of the box. Alrighty. Okay, it is double boxed, so that's a good sign. Now, how the hell do I get it out of this box? Let's see. Maybe we could just take it out of this box and leave this box in this box. Unless there's something underneath this box, which there could be. But we'll already have the system out of here. Well, they did not lie. They really seal this thing in here good. Keep in mind, this is like the best battery I could possibly buy, other than the more powerful batteries of this, which are in the $2,000 and $3,000 range, but this is an $1,100 battery. There's my certificate. I've got a 5-year warranty on this as well. So they guarantee the battery to be at 100% capacity to up to 4,000 cycles, which is equivalent to around 10 years. So if it ends up at an 80% capacity before then, they will replace the batteries. So let's see what we got in here first. So the top of this looks to be, this is the charging cable for shore power. This is a cigarette lighter that goes into the DC power port on it, and this is what I would use to plug in over there to charge the battery while I'm driving. And this right here is the same kind of adapter that I would use to plug this in to my solar power system that I'm going to be running through my roof, so I could charge it via solar. All right, so we'll set all that over there. And I like this little bag that it comes with. You can kind of keep everything together in here. All right. Oh, there's something else in here. Oh, yeah. So this right here, I know what's in there. I'm not going to open it. This is a grounding bolt for the system, so I can ground it to my van. All right, let's open this up. Foam out of here. Oh, wow. They really have this thing packaged good. All right, good news. It is not as big as the box is. Oh, look at it. Look at that. Oh, it's so awesome. All right, let's get it out of here and set it on the desk. Oh, it's heavy. This is hard to lift up hunched over. Yeah, this is, hold on, give me a second. Good thing I don't have the chest mount on, because you guys would be pushed up against this fucking thing. Oh God, this is really heavy. It's like 70 pounds at least. I could have taken the batteries out of it first. Oh, fuck. All right. Let's scooch it over. So it's on my desk that I just built. Wow, look at this thing. Hold on, let me look at my other phone screen to make sure you all can see. Here, this light over here is kind of blinding. So let me scooch over. All right, so it looks like you guys can see pretty well. All right, so Let me tighten this on my head real quick. All right. So let's see. Let's turn on the power button. Wow. I mean, 55%, just as I suspected. All right, so here's my AC power and my DC power. This is where your DC power goes in over here. This is for your cigarette lighter or any other kind of charging with the cigarette lighter. This is where you would plug your solar panels into, or your if you're charging it from your car. This is all AC power, all AC power. Wow, they have a USB-C 100 watts, which is like basically lightning. Oh, there's two of them on here. So that's cool. So the AC 170 only has one of these. This actually comes with two. And then it's got two USB as well. I don't know if the top, here, let me turn this off real quick. All right, it's off. So if I open this up, these are the batteries. And I'm not going to be able to open this up while it's on the desk, I don't think, and pull these out. But I don't know if you guys can see. So these batteries come out. You push the button. These are two individual lithium batteries. So I would be able to buy more of these, like two more of these. And you can run this entire system off of only one. So it would have half the amount of time of power, of course, but while it's in use, I could swap one of these out and put in a fresh one. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's look in the box real quick. There's probably more stuff in here, maybe. No? Okay. Let's just make sure. Oh, that's just that gel stuff. All right, so nothing else in the box. I'm betting the instructions are probably in this thing with the certificate. So let's pop all this back in here. You know what? I might actually keep this foam right here and use this under the bed to leave the Bluettie in. So like use this foam as like the base to set it in, to keep it from sliding around or wanting to fall over. So I might hold on to that. All right, I just want to close this box up. All right, wow. All right, so let's take a peek at this. Here's your instructions. Make sure you all can see, okay? So it is the AC 180T, which is way better than the AC 180, like literally by 1,000 watts more capacity and 300 amp hours more. This thing completely blows the AC 180 out of the water. All right, so that's just everything. I want to see this, what the name of this app is that I'm supposed to download. So let's see. I pretty much already know on the screen what each thing means because I watched so many damn YouTube videos. But I'm still gonna review this and just make sure. All right, so that's for the app. So give me a second here. Let's go into my app store. I think I could just search it. So Bluettie app. So it's just Bluettie app. Okay. So we'll see. Give me 1 second. Oh gosh, this is awesome. Ah, fuck, I keep hitting my head on this beam right here. Yo, it's gonna be, I'm not gonna be able to have any tall chairs in here. I'm on this stool right now, so when I do a game stream tonight from inside the van, I'm gonna have to bring that office chair in here because that's the only way I can comfortably sit. No, I don't want to complete my account Google. Alright, here it goes. Now it's downloading. Yo, I still have... The funny thing is, when I turn this phone on, because I haven't used this phone in a hot minute, I still have Grindr on this phone from when I did predator catching. That's wild. I'm probably going to factory reset this phone, because I forgot I got it back from evidence at the Delaware County Sheriff's Department. I might want to factory reset this phone so I don't have a bunch of screenshots and shit on it. Alright, let's open it up. Remnants from predator catching. Alright, where's my vape? I want to vape real quick while I'm waiting for this. Yes, allow notifications. Next. Device management. Alright, so let's turn this back on. Login, register. Alright, so I kind of... Oh shit, hold on. Alright, I just want to make sure. So the van light is tapped out. That's as long as it's allowed to stay on for it automatically kicked off. So it didn't kill my battery, but give me 1 second. I gotta sign into this. I don't really want to put all my information out there on the internet. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna tilt my phone back. Ah, fuck, hold on. I hate this phone. I'm not really a fan of Androids. I just have to retype this. Come on. God damn, dude. Okay, yes, remember me, log in, accept. Or sign up, maybe? Alright. I gotta type this back in again. Give me 1 second. Alright, 1 sec. Oh shit. Alright, so I don't have... Alright, so that email that I tried signing in under is actually on the phone I'm live streaming, and I forgot I'm not signed into it on my other iPhone. So I'm just gonna use my old predator catching email because I do have that on this phone. It wants me to do a verification code. So actually, hold on. And it sent the code to the email I can't check, so hold on. Oh, I'm gonna back up here. Okay, sign up. Email. Okay, get code. 1 second, guys. Come on, send me the code. Only got 75 seconds to do this. Check my junk. Okay, all mail. Alright, I am getting no verification code. And I'm connected to Wi-Fi. I only have 40 seconds left. Alright, I just got the code. Alright, cool. Give me 1 second. register. Oh, for fuck's sake. Bro, I'm about to punch this fucking phone in the face. It's telling me my password's not long enough, even though my password's definitely long enough. It's doing one of these things where it doesn't want to fucking work. Password must be 6 to something characters. It is. It's fucking 20 characters. The fuck you mean? What, like, what is... I'm just gonna make up some bullshit password real quick. Alright, listen, dude. Phone, unless you want to end up in the bottom of a lake, I highly suggest that you work right now. Stop playing games with me. Oh, for fuck's sake. There's... Every time I try and hit yes, send, it fucking does something else. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Yes, log in, for the love of God. Yeah, saved. Just fuck out of here. Alright, the app is not my favorite thing in the world. That took way too fucking long for something so simple. Alright, I'm gonna get back here to my YouTube. Alright. So, I guess, is this on? Okay, that's on. It's at 55%. Add device. Accept. Okay. Device name. I'm going to change it to Van House Life Battery 1, because this is going to be the first battery system. Remember, I'm adding a whole nother system here with the regular DC batteries. Okay, it's now connecting, so it's doing it via Bluetooth right now. However, it could do it through Wi-Fi. So this is pretty cool. So the phone shows me that I am at 55%. It shows if I had something plugged into it, it would also show me what AC watts I'm at, DC watts, and then the input watts. Let me back out of here real quick. All right, hold on. All right, connect again. So I could also turn on AC and DC from the phone, which is cool. I can turn the system on and off with this. I think there should be more settings. All right, so here are the advanced settings. So powerlifting is basically if I want to go over the regular capacity, which I believe for this, the regular capacity is around 2,500 watts. And then if I did powerlifting, I can run it up to 3,600 watts. Screen timeout every minute. I'm going to change it just for now to 5 minutes. I could put it on eco mode, on AC eco, and also DC eco. There's guides, home page, display, blah, blah, blah. Charging mode. All right, so when I go to charge this so I can do a game stream later, I'm gonna go ahead and select turbo mode for now. So let's go ahead and plug this in while we're just sitting here. Well, actually, before I do that, hold on. I'm just curious. This fan over here that's blowing. All right, can I have this cable? Is that okay with you, box? Give me this cable. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this fan in. The fan's on. All right, fan's in. Let's turn the AC power on. AC's on, it should kick the fan on. All right, you hear the fan going? So right now that fan is running at 103 watts. Let me see if there's... Oh, okay, so right now with that fan running at 55%, remember this is at 55%, it's not at 100. As of right now at 103 watts, I have 7.3 hours of battery life to survive off of. And actually that kind of went up a little. It's at 7.4 right now. So I'm assuming if I was at 100% watts, I would have closer to 14 hours without charging to power that fan. Now, for example, if this was the daytime and I'm running that fan and I have my solar power also plugged into this battery and, you know, I'm getting all 200 watts of solar power, since that's, you know, the solar power would be at 200 watts, it would cancel out the use of the fan by 100 watts, and this would still be charging at 100 watts during the daytime while I'm running my fan, which would mean that I could run the fan unlimited power during the daytime while this is charging, which is cool. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the AC power off, which is how you would turn that off. So it's not using the battery anymore. And then it's now saying without anything plugged in, I have 99.9 hours of battery life at 55%. All right, so let's go ahead and unplug that. I'm gonna put this back into the power outlet just for now. Actually, let me move this up here. All right, now, God, this phone mount thing is killing my face. All right, I want to plug this in to let it charge. Let's go at shore power. That would be this cable. Now keep in mind, I actually am using my shore power outlet into the van. I'm hooked up to the house power system. But right now I don't have any extension cables run out my door or anything weird like that. I'm simply just plugged into the inside of my van through the mounted wall port that I put in last week. So that's kind of cool. Here, let me fix this. So the power, let's look at the side of this real quick. So over here, we have the AC input, which is this power cable. Plug this in, and then it also looks like that is a circuit protector button, and then also there's my ground. So if I wanted to ground this to the van, I could, as like a surge protector. So let's go ahead and plug it in. All right, that's now plugged in. Now I just heard the fan kick on. Remember, I selected in my app to do a heavy duty charge on this, which means here's the input of AC power. It's going to fluctuate from 200 watts to about 1400 watts, and it's going to go in intervals and go up and down, up and down. And right now it's at 55%. Let's look at the time. It is 11, I don't know if you guys can see, it is 11:32 p.m. Let's see how long this takes to hit 100%. Right now it's telling me 0.6 hours to hit 100%. So Basically, we'll just say 30 minutes. Now, I'm not going to charge it this way all the time. It's not good for the battery to do that long term. But say if I was like, you know, on the road and I wanted to go to a coffee shop for an hour to fully charge this and, you know, buy a cup of coffee and work on editing a video there on their Wi-Fi, I could bring this in with me and plug it into their wall, let it charge for an hour, and it would be done in an hour from 0%. So that's the cool thing about that. But if I'm like, say, like I want to charge it while I'm at work and I'm at work for 9 hours, I can put it in eco mode and let it charge the entire shift. You know, if it takes 2 hours to charge in eco mode or 3 hours, I don't have to put strain on the battery and it'll be at 100% by the time I get off. So that's another good thing too. So right now it's coming in, that power right there is coming into this thing at 1046 watts. If I had it plugged into my van, it would show over here DC input. If I'm running solar power plugged into this, it would be at DC input as well. So there's your input for DC, there's your input for AC, and then your output for DC's here, and your AC outputs over here. And then down here it shows you exactly with what you have running in real time, how much time you have left before the battery's dead. But wow, look how quick this is charging. It's already at 57% and it's only been a couple of minutes. So that's pretty incredible. I have like one of the best battery systems you could ask for. This battery right here is essentially all in one. It is your battery and power inverter. So if I didn't want to go with it, there's my 3000 watt power inverter down there. I have to get 1 to 4 batteries to plug into that to do the same thing that this thing can do all in one. And this is a lot easier to charge. It's portable, I can take it into places. That battery system, I cannot. The only way I could charge that is if I ran an extension cable to my van. I would also have to buy a converter to go from AC power to DC power to charge my batteries. So that's obviously, that battery system that I'm going to have is more than likely just solely going to be charged off of solar power. And for when I don't have solar power, guess what? I got this Bluettie system right here. We'll be just fine. We'll be good. All right, so let's look at the app real quick while this is charging. So let me turn powerlifting on. I don't even have powerlifting on right now. Oh no, I'm sorry. Powerlifting is if I had something plugged in. My bad, my bad. I thought I was talking about charging mode. So let's put it to silent mode real quick. That's probably the least amount of charging that you could do. Look how the time changed a little bit. So instead of 0.6 hours to charge, it's, the watts are slowly going down. It's at 726 watts charging. So it only dipped a 0.2. That's not bad for eco. It only dipped 0.2. Let's change it to standard mode. On the phone, I just switched it. So now it bumped it up to 907 watts, and then that put it at 0.7. So it changed by 0.1. So it seems like each one of these settings, it doesn't really change it too much. But I'm gonna put it back into turbo mode because it is kind of late, and I do want to do my game stream in a timely manner. Remember, this screen times out every 5 minutes. So now it's at 60%. The AC input's going to go back up again. Right now it's showing, let's let it settle. I just turned power or turbo mode back on. So now it's at 0.5 hours. And the AC input's continuing to go up a little bit. By the way, I'm not going to use this head mount for too much, I don't think. Unless I get a GoPro, then it would be useful. This is highly uncomfortable to have this fucking phone on my head. Like, it's kind of hurting my forehead right now. Definitely wouldn't want to work on the van with this on my face. It would be very uncomfortable and hot. So I think I'm good. I'm gonna stick with the chest mount for the phone. I think the chest mount was fine for everybody last night too. You all were able to see everything. So just so you all know, this was the most important and most expensive component I needed for the van, and it's now in my van. It is sitting on my desk that I just built this last weekend. Like, the desk is almost done. It's not completely done yet, but it's almost done. It's done enough to hold my Bluettie AC180T, and this is a very heavy battery, and this desk is very sturdy. It is locked in right now. Now the question is, where the hell am I going to put this battery at? I mean, this thing's wider than the AC unit. Where am I going to put this thing? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking right there behind my driver's seat, tucked into between the kitchen counter and the driver's seat. I'm thinking if I slide it in there on its side, that would be a really good place for it. And you know, when I want to charge it with solar power, all I'd have to do is pick it up, set it on the desk, grab the solar power cables from right over there, plug it into here, let it charge on the desk. That's no problem. It's not in my way. And then when it's not, it would just be over there. And the reason I'm thinking over there more so than over by the bed is because when I'm driving, I can simply, the cigarette lighter cable would reach my cigarette port over there, and it would comfortably charge behind my seat. And also, this would give me more power outlets over there. And I could even use this to plug my phone in while I'm driving if I wanted to. Because think about it, if I got the cigarette lighter charging this thing while I'm driving, I don't have any more cigarette lighters other than my CarPlay cable. So I could just plug something into here while it's charging. I'm pretty sure you can use it while it's plugged in as well. So look, if I turn the AC on, or maybe you can't. Hold on, I am curious about that. So let's put this fan back in here. Wow, you can. All right, so I can completely use this while it's being charged. And because it's only outputting 84 watts to the fan right now, it doesn't really change much with it charging because it's such a low wattage compared to what's coming in, which would be the 1089 watts. So that's what I was saying. Like, if I had it on solar at 200, because the max capacity my solar panels will charge us at is, on a really bright day, is about 224 watts. It would still be charging this while I'm using it. And that's a fan, by the way. I wouldn't just only plug the fan in. I might want to just charge a phone, which would run at a much smaller... Here, let's turn that back off for now. Much smaller wattage. I'm really curious to see how this runs my PlayStation 5 Pro tonight. What about all you? Like, so let's see. The computer monitor, PlayStation 5 Pro... My laptop, I can plug into it because I would want to plug that in because I would I'll do what I did last time I did a van game stream. I'll be live through PlayStation for the game itself for people that just like to watch the game. And then I'll also be live just showing a camera video of the inside of the van while I'm playing the game. So I could plug my computer into this directly. I could plug the computer monitor in, the PlayStation 5 Pro. And then if I also wanted to, I could plug my phone in probably over here. Test one of these out. So we're going to test this out tonight. Once this hits 100%, I want to give myself a fair crack at it, you know? So let it hit 100%. I mean, just think about this for a second, though. Say it's nighttime and I wasn't able to charge this during the day. I went hiking all day and this thing's at 33%. All I would have to do is go hit up a truck stop off the highway, go inside, sit at one of their tables, plug this in, and it would only take an hour at minimum to charge it up, and then I'd put it back in my van and I'm good for the night. I think anyways. We'll find out, but This is just amazing. I'm blown away. I highly recommend Bluettie. They are not a sponsor yet, obviously. I only have 600 subscribers right now. But maybe in the future this could become a sponsor. Who knows? You know, I'm very happy with this. Let's see if there's anything else going on in the back. No, there's not really anything back here, just writing and the fan. Here's the handle. There's a handle on the other side, so you can just grab it like that. And then of course this opens. Oh wow, look, all right, so these light up. I didn't even know that. Look at that. So the batteries up here tell you each battery what the battery is, and they're even right now. So that's what I was saying. If I get 2 more of these batteries, when one gets low, or say they both get low, all I have to do is pop these both out and pop in the fresh ones, and then plug these in individually to charge. Or if I get the Bluettie refrigerator in the future, which I'm planning on doing, I'm going to start out with a cheap 12-volt fridge off of Amazon, 48 quart. It's off-brand, but it should do the job. It'll work. But in the future, when I upgrade to the Bluettie fridge, it's about $7.99 for the fridge. It uses these same batteries. So I can pop one of these out, use this to charge the battery, pop one of these out, pop it into my fridge, and while I'm gone all day doing an adventure or out of the van, I can actually unplug my refrigerator and let it just be a fridge off of the battery. And I looked up the statistics on a 12-volt 48 quart fridge. This can run that fridge for 48 hours straight off of one charge, because it's a 12-volt fridge and they're efficient. And if you get the Bluettie fridge, it runs even better because they're both the same type of system. So it'll run at its best capabilities, essentially. I don't really have anything to plug into here. Now, if this was daytime, I would be hooking up right now my, I would be plugging the skill saw into this to test it out. But that's a little too loud. Hey, I got these Christmas lights right here. Let's plug in the Christmas lights. These are what I had hanging last week. All right, let's turn the AC power back on. All right. Oh, wrong end. Grabbed the wrong side. Where's the right side? I'm not gonna lie, I freaking hate Christmas lights. They get tangled too easily. All right, so let's plug these in and see how many watts it takes to run Christmas lights. LED Christmas lights. Look at that, 38 watts. For 2 strands of Christmas lights. There's 2 strands on here. They're plugged into each other. And even with those plugged in, still 0.5 hours to charge this thing. That is awesome. Maybe we'll run the Christmas lights tonight while I use the PlayStation. That will be my lighting. So now it's at 0.4. It's at 7. Look at that. It went from 55% to 70%. What's the time? 11:46. It's only been, what, 8 minutes? Maybe 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 70%. And then when it's charged, it lasts for hours. That's crazy. Hey, what's up, VS? Nice to see ya. Oh yeah, I can also plug my air conditioning into this and also the heater. Because I have the AC in it all the way up in the RV, and I don't feel like carrying this thing into there right now, I'm gonna test that out as well. And what I'll do for that is I'll just make a video of me testing it out, and we'll see how it comes out. Here, let's turn that back off. I'll make a video, we'll see if it works. Now here's the thing, like, I'm not expecting this to run my air conditioning full time because I want to use this for everything else. that is what the 3000 watt power inverter is for, and that is what the individual regular batteries are for, is to run the air conditioning unit full time. Reason being is this is only 1500 watt hours, right? The batteries that hook up to that 3000 watt power inverter that I'm getting are 250 amp hours a piece, which is way more than the lithium battery storage that this possibly could do. So the power inverter up there has the capacity of running my AC unit, because it only runs at like 1200 to 1400 watts. 1400 to start the compressor, and then about 1200 to 800 to run it. So that has the capacity of running it. And then basically the biggest thing is you have to have batteries that are capable of running it for an extended period of time, which unfortunately this couldn't. Maybe a couple hours or 3 hours of non-stop running the AC on it. It probably could do about 2 or 3 hours. But if I get individual 250 amp hour batteries, and they're only $200 to $300 on Amazon, they're not that much, and I get 4 of them and have them all run consecutively together, I will have, like, you know, a day's worth of power to power an AC unit, and then let those charge off of solar. This I could charge within an hour if the battery drained, and then use my AC in it again. But like I said, that's why I want 2 separate battery systems. I want one that I can just have run the fridge and AC unit, and then this will run literally everything else in my van. So we'll see. Also keep in mind, summertime's going to be over with in about a month and a couple weeks. So I'm not even going to be running my air conditioning unit, you know, probably into September. I wouldn't even have to run the AC unit. I could just run my exhaust fan up here, and this will cool the van down enough to make it enjoyable. Not to mention having a fan in here as well. Not this fan, this is way too big. I'm getting, there's a RV fan, and it clamps onto something or bolts into something, and it swivels 360 degrees. So I'm putting one right here on the corner, down on my face when I'm sleeping, and also, you know, conveniently close to the window, so I can turn it and have it suck in air or blow air out my window. And then I can turn it this way when I'm at my desk and have it blown this way. So I am going to have a fan in here on top of my exhaust fan. All right, I do want to turn this fan around. I had it facing out the window while I was working today. And, oh, come on. And I had to take this fan with me today because the fumes in this van from doing that epoxy were so bad and strong that I had to let this air out all day while I was at work. And it did, it aired most of it out. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys could see it, but this came out nice. I could feel the coat of wax on it. It kept it its nice original walnut color. That's not bad, right? All right, let's look one last time. So here's the update. So here's it in action. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm showing you. Let me get closer, maybe. Right now it's showing 988 watts coming in from shore power. Battery's not 75%. Nothing going out of it. Let's see, what's this? So it's showing me the mode's turbocharging, and that's gonna fluctuate. So let's click back over here. So I'll be able to check this in the house. So this will tell me when it's at 100% capacity, I think, anyway. So what's upgrade? Let's see what upgrade is. All right, upgrade. I don't know what DSP means. It says the system will be temporarily unavailable during the upgrade process. All system operations, including charging and discharging, will be suspended. Keep your phone close to the system to maintain a stable. Oh, so this is a software update on the Bluettie battery, and then version, what's this? So there is an update. Check update. All right, hold on. It just turned this off, I think, or no, it didn't. So maybe I should do this too real quick. How long is it gonna take though? All right, I'm just gonna say yes, go ahead. BMS upgrading, hold on, transferring. So let's put this next to the system. So it did stop charging. So, all right, so here on the screen, it's showing me. I feel like doing this might make it run a lot more efficiently, because remember, this is comes from the factory. So if they did like some update to make it run better, or even better than it already does, I want to upgrade it. But it looks like it's doing it pretty quickly. I think that's 3 minutes. So BMS upgrading, transferring. So it's doing it from my phone internet, or well, the Wi-Fi it's hooked up on. All right, BMS upgrade successfully. Okay, cool. Let's go back in here. I thought there was one more upgrade. Let's go back to settings. Upgrade. All right, so DSP. I don't know what that means, but let's upgrade that as well. DSP upgrading now. I wish I knew what that stood for. I have no idea what that stands for. If anybody knows in the comments, let me know. Oh, it's okay, spokesman. I actually pay for the electricity I use, so it's coming out of my pocket. All right, that was really quick. All right, DSP upgrade successful. All right, let's go back into here. See, I thought there was one more thing, or maybe it was just check version. All right, upgrade. So this is just going to show me the version. All right, and I already did that. I don't have to check for update because it would just tell me. So everything's up to date now. Or actually, I think it tells me I'm up to date. You are up to date. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go back to advanced settings real quick. Make sure power lifting is on. Oh, okay, so output frequency, I can change that. Right now it's at 60 hertz. Grid self-adaption. It says the system can charge normally even when the voltage on the electrical grid is unstable due to voltage spikes, drops, or other instabilities. So I could enable that as well. All right, so it's still in turbo mode. I could share the device. All right, cool. All right, so let's go back in here. It's at 77% off grid. It's charging at 933 watts. So if you notice, when it gets close to about 100%, it will actually lessen the amount of wattage coming in. I remember them talking about that on video. So yeah, this is freaking awesome. But if you notice, when this goes down, the amount of time it takes to charge it obviously goes back up. Hey Ben, how's it going? Hope you're having a good evening. I mean, that's crazy. It was just 11:30 and it was at 53% or 55%. Now it's at 78%. Oh, okay, so my brain is retarded. So now it's about a half an hour away from being 100%. I think, right? Or is that 15 minutes? No, because 0.4 would be 15 minutes, right? That's at 79%. Yeah, this is very accurate. This is telling me exactly the same thing, even down to the number of the watt where it's at. There's only a 2-second delay in it telling me the watts, and then the percentage is spot on. It's like a 2-second delay. It's got to go through Bluetooth, so. Yeah, we haven't even tested DC power yet. I don't even think I have anything right now that's DC power. Oh, I do. Hold on. I do have something. I have a 100-watt DC power inverter up here. This plugs into my cigarette lighter in the car, and it's a way that I could plug in a regular wall outlet, and it runs at 100 watts. Let's plug this in the DC power real quick. Hold on. So it's at 80% right now. God, this fucking phone mount thing on my face sucks. Alright, let's plug this in real quick. I don't even know if this works, just so you all know. It came with the van. This wasn't mine. It was in the van when I got the van. Alright, I got that plugged into my DC power. Let's hit the DC button. Okay, it does work. It just turned this on. So I got USB ports. Hey, let's plug the fan into this real quick and see what the wattage looks like. Actually, the fan might be a little bit too much for this 100-watt thing. You can hear the fan in there, by the way, working. I'm kind of scared to plug this in, actually. Here, I got a better... Let's not do that, because if I wanted to plug the fan in, I would just do it AC power, where it's got up to 3600 watts. Now, the battery itself would be fine powering it in DC, but I'm worried this thing itself, if I plug the fan into this, it would trip the fuse in this, because this isn't really meant to go over 100 watts, and we already seen the fan runs at like 120 watts, I think. Hold on. I have a USB cable here for my iPhone, so let's plug my iPhone in. Alright, here we go. Now we're talking. Alright, so let's set that there. Let's plug my iPhone in. Should turn green in the right hand corner, and it does. Look at that. However, this cable here sucks, but this thing keeps tripping out. This thing may not be working right. Yeah, it keeps shorting out. Oh, of course it doesn't work. Hold on. Alright, let me turn this DC power off. So this thing's busted. I think I just figured it out. It's busted. Look. He's got tape on the end of this or something. Alright, so let's plug... Actually, no, it's not the cable, because this was what was flashing. So this probably just doesn't work. Like everything else that was in this van. Here, let me put... Alright, so I'm going to plug my phone cable into the battery itself without that little power inverter. And let's hit the AC... Oh, this is DC output. So let's turn... So these are all DC. I didn't realize that. So let's turn DC. DC's going to use less power than the AC does. Alright, it worked. It turned on the phone. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna leave this phone in here and let this phone charge and see how quickly it charges this phone while it's... Or actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Because I want to give this thing a chance to fully charge without anything coming off of it. If I wasn't gonna do a game stream tonight off of it, then I wouldn't care, but... Alright, so that's the plan, guys. We're going to let this hit 100%. As soon as this is at 100%, it could be in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to put my gaming monitor out here, my PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm going to hook everything up to this, and I'm going to do a live game stream using this to power my PlayStation console. Like, I'll show people on the live everything I have plugged into this directly, so you know it's not plugged into there. We will disconnect the shore power or the AC power cable, so you guys know that this is not plugged into the wall at all, and I will solely just be playing my PlayStation and everything off of this and running the Christmas lights. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run the Christmas lights, I'm gonna run the PlayStation, I'm gonna run the computer monitor, which uses hardly any wattage, and then I'm gonna plug in my computer charger to it, because I'm going to be live streaming from the computer. That way that will stay charged while I'm streaming, so I'll be able to do an entire live game stream using this system and see how it does. I'm hoping, you know, I can make it through at least one baseball game, because typically I usually just do one baseball game each night after work. I have a gas generator now preparing for hurricanes. Hell yeah, dude. I will say this though. The gas generators are obviously probably a little bit more reliable, because you would just add gas to it when it dies, and that's quick. But the thing that sucks about a gas generator is if you're in the middle of a storm, having to go outside and deal with that probably sucks. This you could just leave in your house. Now, after a storm, then yeah, this thing would probably... A gas generator would 100% outlast this thing. But I guess it depends what you're trying to do, you know. I've been through many hurricanes before, and especially with flooding and stuff, it would suck to have to go out and deal with a generator. Wow, this is already at 86%. Didn't I just say 5 minutes ago it's at 70%? Or 77% maybe? That's crazy. Bro, I am so fucking glad I got this unit, and I got this during Prime Week. This is an $1,100 system. Or $1,099, however you want to say it exactly. I got this during Prime Week for $499. That's it. Because it's Prime Week. It was like 54% off. And they had other models. They had the AC180. Originally I was going to do the AC180, which looks similar. It's smaller, except there's no batteries that come in and out like this. The whole thing's just one battery. And it was only capable of going up to 2,500 watts. And it was $428 for the AC180. For $499, I was able to get this, which is a lot bigger, more convenient. It goes up to 3,600 watts, and it's got pullable batteries, so you could swap batteries out. So this was like the best deal I think Bluettie had out of everything they were selling on Amazon and on their website. This was the best deal that you could find, unless you're prepared to spend like $2,500. They had so just so y'all know, Bluettie makes power banks big enough to power an entire house or business. There's individual battery blocks that are about the size of half of this, and they're stackable, and they hook up to a similar face like this, but the systems go anywhere from $2,500 to like I think $5,000, and they're more so meant for like you put them in your garage and you hook up your house to it, and it's like an emergency generator. This is more meant for like, this is probably the biggest battery you'd want to have for camping. Like, you wouldn't want to go anything bigger than this, because then it becomes way too heavy. The systems look a lot bigger than this. You know, and it's like, where are you going to put it, right? Also, you have to carry it around. So this is probably as big as you'd want to go for living in a van or camping. Like I said, this is not going to fit under the bed like I had intended. Remember, I wanted to put it down there. Definitely not going to fit, and I'm not willing to give up my clothes storage under the bed, because I could just get rid of the shelf that I have under the bed and it would definitely fit. But I'm not willing to sacrifice my clothes storage, because I'm already having to get creative with storage in here. But I think I'm going to put it up here. I think it will sit right behind my driver's seat. If I push my seat up to get it in there and then pull the seat back on it, it will sit perfectly fine where the Chick-fil-A bag is right now. The empty ass Chick-fil-A bag that I fucking left in here because I'm a fucking pig, apparently. I was actually trying to start a new version of Trash Mountain, and I didn't get any further than the Chick-fil-A bag. No, I'm just kidding. I was using it to throw shit in, like trash in here. But anyways, where the Chick-fil-A bag is, that's where it will go, which would give me a power outlet. I could actually, like, if I want to plug in my air fryer, I think it would be a better idea to plug the air fryer directly into the Bluettie battery rather than a power outlet that's hooked up to the Bluettie battery. So just go directly into it for efficiency and safety. And if it's here, I could just run the cable to it. So that would make sense, right? And then it's right here. I take this cable, which is not very long. It's long enough, but it's not very long, and plug it into my van and then charge the system while I'm driving. I am going to test this out on my way to work tomorrow. I'm going to hook it up to my cigarette lighter, and while I'm driving to work, I'm going to look and see how the Bluettie's charging from my phone while I'm driving. I'll just set my phone up in the dash and keep an eye on it. So it's still charging at 1,000 watts. It's now at 91%. That is insane. Alright guys, I'm going to end this stream off because I want to get my things together and at least start bringing things in here to do a game stream and get it all set up. And I'm going to be going live from my computer. So be on the lookout for a live. There's actually, like I said, there's going to be 2 lives. There's going to be the game stream live itself, and then a live of me doing the game stream with this. It is a test trial run stream. In fact, I can actually say that the Bluettie system will be powering my live stream tonight. Powered by Bluettie. Like, legitimately powered by Bluettie. Everything will run off of Bluettie. Wow, this is freaking awesome, man. I am impressed with how quick this is charging. Yeah, and I also want to get this stupid thing off of my face. It's fucking, the band of this is like cutting into my skin on my skull, and it sucks. It feels like I have sunburn on my forehead right now. This head mount, I'm pretty sure, is more meant for a GoPro, not a phone, but it can fit my phone mount, so. I can't even hold my head up straight with this on my head. I have to like hunch my head over. That's why I'm constantly looking at the floor in here. My head hits the roof. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in about, we'll just say 30 minutes. Around 30 minutes. This should be almost done. So I'll see you all in 30 minutes. Oh, I gotta take this off my head to end it. Oh. 30 minutes. Alright, this is a stupid, hold on. This is the thing that I was using to have on my head. So it's got the phone mount and it goes into that. You slip it on your head. Alright guys, I'll see you all in 30 minutes, give or take.